we will know we have enough data?
This is the best question. When will we have enough data? Do I need to make maybe a loop back to the notion of story points, or are we good with that?
I think we're good.
Okay, right. Story points is like the progress you're measuring, and the man hours typically are the effort you're putting in. That's the task. When is good enough? There's two phenomena. One, I would say when you have stable velocity. So typically when you see the velocity of a team, it tends to go there and then stabilize. Some people say slightly increasing over time. The most important part for me is that curve. If you ask any project manager, you prefer predictability over speed. And when you try to go fast, the problem with a team that accelerates, if you bet on the fact that the team's going to go faster and faster, it makes your prediction very fragile. Because if the team is slowed down, you're in a mess. So you have stability, which means you don't want to have something that does, this is a mess. I've seen something even worse than that. It was a velocity looking like this. The team was sort of taking 4 sprints to release a batch of stories, and then nothing happens for 3 sprints. So you want to have stable velocity. That's a question I asked the other day. Do you feel it's consistent enough? So people tend to say 4 sprints. Honestly, I leave that up to you. The projected velocity is changing if you have slight changes, right? So you can see a tendency. When you had the other day, what if you're 1 day before the sprint and you find there's a bug in a story, or it's not ready, or you're waiting for COE to call you back? And, well, the story is going to be ready this time. If that is your velocity, and your velocity was like this, you're going to have a little low because your story is not ready on time. The past, and then it's going to even out, right? So it's not a big deal. So we say 4 sprints just so we have a sort of an average tendency. That's what we're looking at. If you want more, I don't disagree. The danger is to use sprint by sprint or even just to sprint. And don't worry, you do 1 week or you do 2 weeks, I see the same phenomenon. So I would say 4 is a good start. Now, to get a little more into detail, what I see sometimes, if you want a project beyond this, the question I'm asking team is, hey, you see your velocity, it's not stable already. You are at the beginning of the curve here, and you just see your velocity doing this, and maybe starting to do this. I'm just asking the team, and I can ask you guys, how much in the end do you think your velocity is going to be? So you don't have enough data, but you can make an educated guess, like, hey, we can do maybe 20% better, no more. And then okay, so you expect a velocity to be stable here, and you can use that. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, but you said that 4 is a good start, right?
It's it's usually yes, it's overly recommended. Yeah.
But we in like sprint 2 or sprint 1, we didn't have any FP tasks, and Nafis joined in last sprint, like sprint 3. So the team is getting a bit change in the work. So I think it's difficult to predict something out of that, right? Because team structure changed, and also we pushed to have more FT tasks so that Mayank can participate better, right?
Yeah.
I think that those changes also can be a hurdle in correctly predicting something.
Honestly, at that stage after 4 sprints, it's very risky to make a guess, for real. And we know that in Agile. The beginning of an Agile project, you don't really know how fast it's going to go. You made an educated guess at the beginning, but you're just guessing. So first I would say stable practices, stable work. That's a condition for stable velocity, of course. Now, eventually, to go beyond this, you can start to make explicit hypotheses. How much do you think is going to improve when everybody's going to be up to work? This is my point of making a guess. How much do you think the overall team is going to improve? Overall, are we talking 5% or are we talking double the speed? So you can make hypotheses if you want to. Now, if you think you need 6, I would say go for 6 or wait for this sprint 6. It's normal agile project management. Absolutely normal agile project management. We acknowledge that we can't know the speed of a team or project before a couple of sprints. It's the one-on-one of agile project management. Yeah. Reactions?
That's clear for me.
Okay. Just to recap, because I want to put it out there, right? The one type of progression you're looking at usually, just to see, you got sprints, which means it's time, right? And then you got, I don't know, some sort of release estimate, just to check. So over the courses of the sprint, you're looking at your progress, right? My best guess is, and sometime remember, you will revise your release because maybe it's going to be bigger than you thought. Maybe you are going to unprioritize some items. So this is a moving curve. It's normal. And you know the projection come, there is a cone of prediction, optimistic and pessimistic. My advice nowadays, never draw a line. When you represent the number, never physically draw this line that says, we are going to finish here. Don't do this. Because people start to think that the future is predictable and realistic, and honestly, it is not. It's always a mess. So I prefer to leave something like this, and people will just do a visual progression. But the idea is to say, hey, we think we can arrive somewhere here with what we know today. And so, yeah, this is cumulated progress.